So Microsoft just did something pretty interesting with Windows 11 25H2 that I didn't expect to see. They've actually added an official way to remove what most people call bloatware from Windows. But here's the thing, it's not exactly what you might think, and there is a catch. So what Microsoft has done is they've added a new group policy setting called Remove Default Windows Store Packages from System. And you can find this under Computer Configuration, Administrative Templates, Windows Components, and then App Package Deployment. Now this policy lets you select from a curated list of built-in Microsoft Store apps that will be removed when new user profiles are created. And according to the documentation, this includes apps like Clipchamp, Windows Media Player, Terminal, Notepad, Quick Assist, Paint, and even some Xbox related apps. But here's the catch I mentioned earlier. This only works if you have Windows 11 Pro, Education, or Enterprise. If you're running Windows 11 Home, you don't have access to the group policy editor at all. So this official bloatware removal method is only available to users who have the more expensive versions of Windows. Now I know you get apps like PolicyPlus, which are designed for Windows Home users. So maybe in the future, it'll be added to PolicyPlus, and then you can use that on Windows 11 Home versions. Now, when you enable this policy, Windows creates a registry key at this location, and each app you select gets its own subkey using the package family name. The important thing to understand is that this removal only happens when new user profiles are created, so it's not for existing user profiles. And right now, this feature is only available in the Windows Insider program. Specifically, you need to be on this build in the dev channel or the following build in the beta channel. Now, according to this Patch My PC article, which I'll also link in the description down below, this is something that IT admins and system admins have been asking Microsoft for years. And previously, if you wanted to remove these default apps, you had to use PowerShell scripts, which could be fragile and sometimes break Windows during setup or cause problems with things like autopilot deployment. But here's an important limitation. This policy only covers Microsoft's own apps. So you're not going to find third-party bloatware like Spotify trials or any of the manufacturer-installed software that often comes with new PCs. This is only for Microsoft's built-in store apps. Now here's something interesting that the researchers discovered. The policy actually works by checking registry keys, which means you could potentially use PowerShell to add other apps to the removal list, even if they're not shown in the group policy interface. So you could theoretically remove apps like LinkedIn or even Copilot if you know their package family names. But the feature isn't perfect yet, and even when the apps are successfully removed, you might still see their shortcuts in the start menu or the all apps list. They just won't launch when you click on them. So there's still some user interface cleanup that Microsoft needs to work on before this feature is fully ready. Microsoft hasn't announced when this feature will be available in the stable release of Windows 11 25H2, but given that this is currently in both the dev and beta channels of the Insider program, it's likely that we'll see it in the final release later this year. And there's also a policy CSP path, which suggests that Intune support is planned for the future. So the bottom line is this. Yes, Microsoft is finally adding an official way to remove some of their built-in apps, but it's limited to Pro versions of Windows. It only covers Microsoft's own apps, and it's not quite ready for everyday use yet. For most home users, you'll still need to stick with the traditional methods of uninstalling apps manually or using third-party tools if you want a cleaner Windows installation. Now, if you're new to this channel, you might not know this, but I've actually created WinHance and Unattended Winstall, which gives you a cleaner Windows experience and removes all of the bloatware that you can remove in Windows via PowerShell or other methods. And if you want to check that out, I'll link the videos on screen now. But as always, I just want to give a special shout out to all of my YouTube members. Thanks for all your support. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to all of you guys soon.